Hey y'all, Coach Moore with Atomic Athlete. I'm going to go over our new cycle, Surtr. Surtr, 10-foot tall rage monster. Norse lived in the Norse realm of fire with his giant flaming sword for all of eternity. Then Ragnarok came out. He comes out of this hole. He destroys the world, literally burns down the world with his flaming sword. He was so full of rage that he didn't stop there. He burned down the entire effing universe. I'm just saying, pretty hardcore. So we're setting the standard pretty high with this cycle. So we'll see what happens. Super cool cycle. We're using a variation of auto-regulation. We've done auto-regulation in the past. We've just done it in a different way. So typically when we've done auto-regulation in the past, we've always tested max reps in the last round. The problem with that is you're with a high level of fatigue, so your max reps are generally much lower. Now, the whole point of this cycle is we're going in and we're testing max reps on the very first round. So this is the whole premise of this cycle is you are coming in with your mind right, and your first round of each exercise is your hardest round. That is your go round. You need to get your shit together and you need to get the fuck after it. So that's what we're going for in that first round. How's that gonna look? Well, before we get going on this cycle, you gotta test 3 lifts between a 1, 5, or 10 rep max. That's gonna be your squat of choice, back squat or front squat, military press, and bench press. We're also going to test pull-ups, but those aren't following the same protocol. So bench press, military press, squat. After you test those numbers, which one should you do? Should you do 1 rep max? Should you do 5 rep max? Should you do 10 rep max? If you like to lift really, really heavy, that makes your heart happy, you should do a 1 rep max. If you like to push a bunch of volume, you want your muscles to be absolutely on fire, you need to go to a 10 rep max. If you're like, man, I don't like either of those things, 5 rep max. So we got one picked out for all of you guys. There's no right or wrong answer with this. You got to do what makes your heart happy. But no matter what, if you follow the protocols and you follow the progression, you will see strength and hypertrophy gains across the board. So how does this work? Session 1, you're going to come in and you're going to do max reps at 70% of your rep max on back squat. That's the very first thing you're doing. You're going to come in, you're going to warm up, you're going to go right into it. Max reps 70% at back squat. All you have to do is record that rep number. Now, the caveat is it needs to be 3 reps in reserve. So when we go for max reps, the big thing that we have to athletes have to understand is staying inside that 3 reps in reserve. Staying inside that 3 reps in reserve is what's going to allow you to continue to progress the cycle. If we go to actual max reps, day 1, session 1, you're taking the ceiling from way up there and you're taking it right down here. So understand, honoring those 3 reps in reserve is really, really important. What are 3 reps in reserve? Jake says this great. He goes, go until your legs are burning and the barbell slows down. So that's the best way to describe it if you don't really have a good formulaic idea of what 3 reps feels like. So what does that feel like? Basically, you still have good quality technique. This should be right at the point that your technique starts to fall apart. So for a squat, that means you're losing core stability, you're not getting the depth you need, all those things. So every rep should be exactly the same. They should be beautiful reps. Right when it really starts to burn or the barbell really slows down, you can just go ahead and rack it and call it a day. Then you record that rep number. That's all you got to do is record that rep number. Next time when you come in and you do that exercise, so we're going to do squats on Monday, we're going to do squats again on Friday. So when you come in on Friday and do squats, after you get warmed up, get your shit right, because your whole goal is to meet or beat that number on round 1. That's it. You're just getting after it. I mean, like, you're really getting after it, provided you're still honoring those 3 reps in reserve. You're going to do an additional 3 sets after that first round, and they're going to be max reps, 3 reps in reserve as well. But you should have gone so hard on round 1 that there's no way you can hit that number on rounds 2, 3, and 4. So that's another good way to keep yourself honest. You know that if you can meet or beat your round 1 number, that wasn't max reps. It just wasn't. So you should there should be that level of fatigue inside you. Honor those 3 reps in reserve too. Don't try to consistently hit that number and put yourself deeper and deeper in the fatigue, because again, the focus of the cycle is the next time you come in. So after you've come in that second time and you've meet or beat that number, third time you come in and do this session, you're going to add 5% and you're going to set a rep max. Next time you come in and do it, you're going to try to meet or beat that number. So that's it. Set a rep benchmark, beat it, add weight, repeat. That's the cycle. That's it. Almost impossible to screw up. That being said, how are you going to screw this up? All right, you're not going to honor the reps in reserve. It's that simple. That's the only way you can fuck this up. I know some of you guys are already, I'm max reps every time. That's who I am, dog. You can't take that away from me. Cool, man, you do you. I'm just letting you know. How do you get the best out of this cycle? You honor that 3 reps in reserve. The second time you come in and do it, it's going to be 2 reps in reserve. And then the third time you come in and do that exercise, it's going to be 1 rep in reserve. So we're working you to that harder effort. After 3 weeks, we're going to deload, and then we're going to start again at slightly heavier weight, and we're going to work through it again. So the first 3 weeks aren't going to be insanely heavy. You're just going to be pushing volume, laying that solid foundation, that work capacity that's going to allow you to push that much heavier weight in the second phase of the cycle. Outside of that, we are going to also follow this protocol with a few accessory lifts. The accessory lifts are basically going to be a lunge or a split squat of choice, and also some type of row and a bicep exercise and a tricep exercise and a glute exercise. So those are going to change every 2 weeks, but the thing with those, since we don't have a number to work off of, again, it's going to be your choice. So you're just going to work up to a relatively difficult load and go for max reps. If you like more of a burn, it's going to be a little bit lighter load because you're going to get more volume. If you want to go a little bit heavier, go a little bit heavier, and it's going to just be less reps. Same thing, we're going to come in, you're going to record that first round, you're going to record that first number, come in when we do it the second time, you're trying to meet or beat that number. Now, the only thing that changes with this is the next time you come in, the third time you come in and do this, it's going to be a different exercise. It's still going to be a lunge type exercise, a unilateral exercise, or it's going to be a row of some sort. It's just not going to be the same one. So that's going to give you guys a little bit of variety in this. The other phase of the cycle is going to be a pull-up progression. That is going to be on the Tuesday, the session 2 and session 4. And this is just going to be designed to lay the foundation for more pull-ups. So for my ladies, it's specifically to get your first pull-up, or my guys that really struggle with pull-ups. And then for my guys that already do good pull-ups, it's to lay foundation to just keep your shoulders nice and healthy and hopefully squeeze out a few more. So we'll just be following a progression on that. The last phase of this is going to be your choice of either single mode or multi-mode work capacity. Single mode work capacity, you're going to do a 30-minute time trial on the Concept 2 bike, the Concept 2 rower, or the assault bike. We have formulas for all 3 of those. Time trial, what does that look like? That's as hard as you can push for 30 minutes. Now, what I saw in the gym, athletes went really hard for about the first 10, 15 minutes and saw a massive dropout, or they went really easy for the first, 25 minutes or so and pushed really, really hard in that last little bit. Guys, if you don't do this regularly, that's just kind of part of it. You got to kind of figure this shit out. Either way, when you finish that 30 minutes, I need 2 things from you. I need your distance covered and your average wattage if you were on a concept bike. If you were on the assault bike, I need your distance covered and your calories. That's it. And then we're going to throw that into a little formula to dictate your numbers. When you come in after that, you are going to be doing rounds at sub threshold. So whatever your average wattage is, it's going to be basically between 80 and 95% of that wattage. And you're going to be holding that for set intervals of anywhere from, I think your longest one is 15 minutes as you get further into the cycle, but you're going to start around that 6-8 minute mark. So not super sexy, not super fun, very, very effective. Let me tell you how you're going to screw this up. Basically the same way you screw up the first part, and I've been very guilty of this in the past. When you get in and you're doing that sub-threshold work, it's just not that hard when you start, so you really feel like you're not going hard enough to see progress, and that's the fucking trap. And that's always the trap with conditioning. The great thing with conditioning is it's a hard science, man. They know exactly what you need to do, and what you need to do is go a little bit easier to lay the foundation to go harder later, and that's the whole point of this. What we're doing with this threshold work is we're bringing the floor up. We're just giving you a bigger foundation to work off of in the future. This should have direct carryover into your lifting later on in the cycle. As it builds your capacity, you should be able to push harder. As you push harder, longer, more reps, you get stronger by default. So it works on both sides. Now, do you need to do single mode? Do you need to be multi-mode? It's entirely up to you. If you're if you're a brainiac and you get real into the linear shit, do the single mode shit, man. It's super cool. It's super cool to see the progress. If you're more or less like, man, I'm just here to work out, I don't really give a shit about any of that, do the multi-mode. There's no right or wrong in any of that shit. You just do whatever makes your heart happy. You're not going to lose any fitness on one. You might gain a little bit more threshold doing the threshold work, but if it causes you a high amount of mental or emotional distress to sit on a bike for 30 minutes, which is extremely boring. I get that. Not exactly why I work out. But again, if you want to see what you're able to do, that's why you would do that. But outside of that, man, that's this whole cycle. We'll do these progressions for 3 weeks. After 3 weeks, we'll do a little deload, and then we'll come in and we'll ramp it up a little bit more. Remember, first time we do it is 3 reps in reserve. Second time we do it, we're going to go up in weight, 2 reps in reserve. Last time we run through both sessions, it's going to go up in weight again, and it's going to be 1 rep in reserve. So don't set yourself up for failure by going too hard straight out the gate. The hard shit's coming. Just be patient, wait for it. It's going to smoke you. Outside of that, man, you got questions, comments, concerns, TOD at Atomic-Athlete. I'll have to clear those up. You guys enjoy the cycle. It's going to be a great one.